If you're new here, we'd love for you to subscribe and join us on this creative journey. Let's discover the magic of thoughtful design together.
Savers value village gardenties that look expensive but cost almost nothing. A curated assortment of delicate porcelain teacups sourced from local thrift shops transforms a humble garden edge into an elegant, upcycled garden decor vignette. Each piece, adorned with hand-painted florals or gilded rims, cradles a miniature blanket of moss and a sprig of trailing ivy for a whisper of nostalgic romance. Strategic placement along a sun-kissed patio border allows morning light to dance across glazed surfaces and verdant foliage. A simple layer of drainage pebbles beneath rich compost ensures optimal root health without risking waterlogging. Coordinating pastel bedding plants ties the palette together, reinforcing a sense of cohesion and serenity. Gentle misting each dawn maintains moisture levels for delicate roots, while seasonal rotation of tiny blooms sustains year-round interest. This budget-friendly garden idea highlights sustainable style and invites an enduring atmosphere of timeless elegance outdoors. An ornate reclaimed mirror frame repurposed into a vertical herb garden brings both functionality and vintage allure to any sunlit wall. Weathered wood grain and patinaed metal brackets evoke a sense of old-world charm, while small terracotta pots nestle into custom-cut slots behind the glass pane. Fresh basil, thyme, and mint thrive in shallow pockets of nutrient-rich soil, offering fragrant foliage at arm's reach for culinary adventures. Installation above a bistro table creates a living backdrop for al fresco gatherings, blending practicality with romantic garden style. Routine trimming encourages bushy growth and prolongs harvest yield, reinforcing gentle how-to practices that enrich everyday life. This creative upcycled project transforms discarded decor into a sustainable kitchen garden feature that captivates the senses. Seasonal herb swaps, from vibrant oregano in summer to tender parsley in cooler months, ensure an ever-renewing display of greenery. weathered wooden crate, sourced from a Value Village find, becomes the foundation for a charming succulent tableau that exudes rustic elegance. Inner compartments lined with landscape fabric cradle an assortment of rasette echeverriers, seams, and stringer pearls in a tapestry of textures. Gentle gravel mulch aids moisture control and highlights each plant's form against the aged wood backdrop. Arrangements on a shaded porch corner invites contemplative moments where interplay of light and shadow accentuates muted green tones. Whispered hints of lavender blooms in adjacent pots tie the vignette into a cohesive garden oasis. Minimal watering routines and infrequent feedings reinforce sustainable care habits, perfect for the leisurely gardener. This thrifty product showcases budget-friendly garden ideas by turning a simple crate into a statement of refined, low-maintenance beauty. Translucent wine bottles, repurposed from antique shops, dangle gracefully from sturdy hemp rope to form a suspended floral installation. Each bottle houses a single stem of hydrangea or a sprig of lavender, transforming ordinary blooms into floating accents. The gentle sway in a soft breeze brings movement and poetry to a garden nook or pergola ceiling. Spas, well-filtered water changes every few days preserve floral freshness and prevent buildup, exemplifying easy maintenance tactics. Grouping in clusters of odd-numbered bottles enhances visual harmony, while alternating heights add dynamic interest. This creative upcycled idea elevates simple stems into an artistic focal point that feels both whimsical and elegant. In twilight hours, subtle string lights woven among ropes cast a magical glow on petals and glass alike. An intricate gilt picture frame retrieved from a thrift store shelf frames a miniature fairy garden of moss, pebbles, and petite ceramic toadstools. Lush green carpets of moss cushion tiny terracotta pots and a hand-carved driftwood bench, creating an enchanting microcosm. Strategic placement beneath a birch tree complements natural textures, while gentle layers of soil support tiny ferns and creeping thyme. Incorporation of pastel resin fairy figurines adds a touch of nostalgic whimsy without overpowering the natural elements. Routine misting encourages moss vitality, while occasional pruning of thyme maintains scale and balance. This budget-friendly garden concept invites a sense of wonder and mindful reflection in a tranquil outdoor retreat. A seasonal rotation of miniature spring bulbs through hidden planting pockets ensures evolving interest year-round. A string of assorted glass jars, rescued from secondhand shelves, transforms a simple garden path into a luminous evening promenade. Each jar holds a solar-powered LED candle nestled atop river pebbles, casting a warm, flickering glow along gravel walkways. Antique brass handles and twine accents lend romantic vintage flair against beds of lavender and rosemary. Alignment at uniform intervals ensures balanced illumination and guides nightly strolls with serene ambience. Regular cleaning of jar interiors prevents soot buildup and maintains clarity, reinforcing easy care habits. This budget-friendly lighting solution merges practical pathway safety with sophisticated garden decor. Incorporating seasonal greenery, sprigs of holly at winter, and fresh eucalyptus in summer refreshes the display throughout the year. An array of weathered biscuit tins, adorned with retro labels and pastel motifs, becomes a charming collection of bloom boxes along a sunlit windowsill. Each tin cradles a combination of hardy marigolds, violas, and pansies, offering vibrant pops of seasonal color. A thin layer of gravel under potting mix ensures drainage, while daily sun exposure encourages prolific flowering. Grouping tins by complementary hues creates an inviting mosaic of floral artistry. Incorporating gentle fertilizer spikes during peak bloom supports lasting vibrancy without overfeeding. This creative upcycled idea merges nostalgic charm with budget-friendly garden solutions for small space dwellers. A rotating schedule of seed starting in late winter guarantees a fresh supply of seedlings for early spring displays. Polished forks and spoons, salvaged from thrift store cutlery drawers, take on new purpose as elegant garden markers. Each utensil is stamped with botanical names: rosemary, thyme, basil, and gently bent into a hook to stake into soil beds. The reflective metal catches morning sun, shimmering among verdant rows of herbs and vegetables. Hand stamping adds artisanal character, while clear lacquer coating prevents rust and prolongs outdoor life. This upcycled garden idea blends practicality and refined style for budget-conscious gardeners. Seasonal rotations of planting, swapping summer basil for autumn sage, keep the herb garden both organized and visually striking. Integration of these markers elevates routine planting into a thoughtful ceremony of cultivation and care. Fragments of vintage lace tablecloths paired with reclaimed metal rings and beaded accents create ethereal wind chimes above a rustic wooden bench. Soft breeze causes lace strips to sway, producing a gentle rustling that soothes the senses. Tiny glass beads threaded along fringe catch sunlight and scatter subtle sparkles across nearby flower beds. Strategic hanging under a shaded arbor protects delicate fabrics from harsh midday rays. Incorporation of clear waterproof seal and on metal rings shields against moisture, ensuring longevity. This budget-friendly DIY chime marries romantic vintage style with mindful garden acoustics. Seasonal addition of scented geranium cuttings near the installation heightens sensory delight in summer months. An ornate birdcage, rediscovered in a Value Village treasure hunt, becomes a captivating focal point when filled with cascading ivy and pastel blooms. A soft moss bed lines the base to support terracotta pots hidden within the cage bars. Arrangement on a rotai and bistro table invites intimate gatherings beneath dappled shade. Whispered vines of jasmine lace through open doors, infusing the air with gentle fragrance. Routine watering via a long spout watering can ensure even moisture distribution without disturbing foliage. This upcycled garden accent adds depth and vertical interest while celebrating sustainable style. Seasonal swapping of annuals, petunias in summer, cyclamen in cooler seasons, ensures the centerpiece remains fresh and enchanting. A stack of mismatched antique drawers sourced from local thrift shops assembles into a tiered planter stand that exudes rustic farmhouse elegance. Each drawer cradles trailing lobelia, cascading ivy, and compact ferns to create layered greenery vistas. Subtle sanding and whitewash techniques preserve character while protecting wood from moisture. Placement on a shaded patio corner allows gentle morning light to filter through foliage layers. Easy access drawers simplify seasonal refreshes, enabling quick soil replacement and new plant arrangements. This creative project elevates salvaged furniture into a statement piece of upcycled garden decor. Incorporation of small potted herbs in lower drawers invites both beauty and edible harvest at hand. A worn metal serving tray, repurposed into a miniature water feature, becomes a serene focal point in any garden alcove. A small submersible pump circulates water over smooth river stones, creating a soft babbling soundtrack. Moss-lined edges and floating water lilies accentuate a mood of gentle tranquility. Discreetly hidden tubing maintains a clean aesthetic, while occasional water top-offs sustain the cycle. This budget-friendly feature mingles vintage charm with mindful relaxation, inviting moments of quiet reflection outdoors. Seasonal additions, such as floating tea-light candles on summer evenings, amplify romantic allure and extend usage into dusk hours. Delicate linen napkins, recovered from estate sale, transform into fragrant bundles when filled with dried lavender and rose petals. Each bundle is tied with twine and nestled among potted herbs for a subtle infusion of scent in shaded garden corners. Soft linen fibers wick humidity, preserving botanical fullness over weeks of display. Clustered in groups of odd numbers, these bundles add texture and gentle fragrance to seating areas. This upcycled decor idea combines nostalgia with mindful sensory delight in a cost-effective manner. Season rotations, switching to dried eucalyptus or mint, maintain an ever-evolving tapestry of garden aromas. An old wrought iron candle holder, discovered at a Value Village rack, anchors a garden corner with stately elegance. Taper candles in soft cream and blush hues perch atop slender arms, inviting twilight gatherings. Surrounding potted ferns and climbing clematis weave living textures around the iron structure. Minimalist drainage saucers beneath candle bases protect patinaed metal from water damage. This budget-friendly accent merges functionality and timeless style, illuminating pathways and seating nooks alike. Seasonal candle swaps, from floral, scented in spring to spice, infused in autumn, reinforce a dynamic garden atmosphere. pages from discarded books, folded into seed envelopes, repurposed printed text into botanical gift pouches. Handwritten labels list heritage tomato, calendula, and zinnia seeds tucked within each paper fold. Bundled with rustic twine, these envelopes serve as thoughtful giveaways at garden soirees. Lightweight and breathable, the paper protects seed viability while evoking literary nostalgia. This upcycled idea marries storytelling with sustainable seed saving, inviting a new chapter of growth each season. Seasonal swaps, introducing pollinator-friendly wildflower mixes in spring, keep the garden narrative ever-evolving.
If you found a little treasure in today's video, give it a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments what unique ideas you'd like us to explore next. Until next time, keep creating beauty and finding joy in every treasure.